Hey y'all, Brandon Rinas here. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. So today I am going to go over Mr. Rex Tillerson and his Department of Secretary of State, his appointee. Donald Trump appointed him for the Secretary of State position, and if you're anything like me, you have no idea who the guy is, what he's about, what he likes, what he supports. You're like, who in the world is this guy? Well, let's start off with the major media. These credible people who couldn't get the election right, who couldn't get the Iraq war right, who couldn't get the 2008 recession right, who said Hillary Clinton was going to win in a landslide, also said Newt Gingrich and Mitt Romney were the top two options, and that was who he was choosing from. And then Rex Tillerson comes through, and all of us are going, oh, who is this guy? What did he do? Who is he? What has he done? All right, so I will admit, the first thing I heard when I heard this guy's name, I was not impressed. I did not want Rudy Giuliani. I did not want Mitt Romney. In fact, I really was going to lose a lot of respect for Donald Trump if he appointed either one of them. But thankfully, he appointed Rex Tillerson. So I did some research. I could have done a video the day of the appointment, but I wanted to do some research on the man. I wanted to listen to some speeches, some question and answers, try to educate myself on the man a little bit. So let's start off with some of the cons. First of all, a lot of people are attacking him. They think he's an oil man, and he is. He spent 30 years working with Exxon. That is a long, long, long time. And so some people consider that to be a conflict of interest, that he'll be promoting oil, or he's got oil interests in his mind, and that may be true, and that is a con. That's something to definitely think about when we're talking about who Rex Tillerson is. He also has ties to Russia. Now, to me, this is absurd. We have this Russia thing going on right now that it kind of reminds me of Pizzagate. People are really all hyped up about Pizzagate, and maybe there's some truth to it, but we don't know. And I believe that extraordinary claims take extraordinary evidence. So to just go off on some tangent about how Russia is interfering with everything when we have literally zero proof of it other than the CIA had a consensus that that's the case. Well, I'm sorry, but a consensus doesn't mean jack squat. We had a consensus that Iraq had nuclear weapons. We had a consensus that the world was flat. We had a consensus of all these other things. It's just a consensus doesn't mean jack squat. I want facts. I want evidence if I'm going to actually be talking negatively. So he has ties to Russia from the aspect of he's done business there. He's worked with Russia. He's worked with Mr. Putin himself. In fact, they have pictures of them giving handshakes together. Well, don't we want someone who has worked with our enemies and actually has been friendly, as in he isn't looking to start a war? Now, to me, the biggest con that he has is that we don't know whether he is a warmonger or not. We don't know, as far as I can tell anyway, we don't know that if he's going to go and push for another war with Iraq so he can gain oil. He doesn't seem like that kind of person because this is a man that's worked in the private sector. In the private sector, you don't have the option of, hey, let's go kill this dude so we can profit from it. In the private sector, the way you profit is by helping someone else and they help you. There's no, I'm going to kill you and I get to take everything from you. It's the only way you get to gain profit is by helping someone else out as much as they're helping you out. So it's a fair trade. When you buy a TV, they would like to sell you that TV so they can profit, and you want that TV so you have a TV. So it goes both ways. Both people have success. Both people have profit. So from that perspective, I hope and I pray, and I have a gut feeling, which is not factual, I'm not going to go there, but that he wouldn't be this warmonger type. Also, Donald Trump has been relatively clear that he wants to be less of a warmonger country. So again, that would make me think that Rex Tillerson is going to be someone who is not a warmonger like Giuliani, like Mitt Romney. So these are the cons. These are the things that go through my mind, and I go, okay. I'm not super excited about him from those perspectives. Now let's go about some of the pros. He's very, very highly educated. Now, of course, we'd expect him to be highly educated when it comes to oil and energy and renewable energy, things of this kind, but I was even blown away with the amount of knowledge that he had in these departments. Now, I spent 5 years in the oil field. I can kind of smell BS when somebody's telling me it because I kind of know the industry a little bit. I am not as educated as him, but I was listening to very direct questions to him, things that people would be offended by, things that people would oftentimes weave and kind of try to not answer directly, and he would give direct answers to the person questioning him, to the interviewer. He also was asked about global warming, and he would give direct answers instead of the typical, oh, well, I'm not exactly sure, blah, 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 blah. And I really appreciate that. I want somebody that does that. He talked about how the Keystone Pipeline has been stopped and how we have businesses like Exxon and other companies that do all the right things. They go through all the loopholes. They go through all the environmental planning. They figure out the best way to put in this pipeline. They do everything right. They get all the permits. And the government still shuts them down. And he talks about how that hurts business, how that hurts the poor, how that hurts the middle class, how it drives businesses out of our country because they would rather work in other countries where they're not going to have to deal with a president that can be a dictator and force them to stop doing something after they have done all the legal processes. And they go through all the whole entire system. They spend millions of dollars, tons and tons of man-hour time, tons and tons of energy, tons and tons of finances that could be going into creating better equipment, more environmentally friendly things, or things of this kind. But no, they spend it all trying to get a pipeline to go through. They get it all done, and the government says no. President comes by and says, no, that's not going to happen. I'm stopping the pipeline. This is brutal. It's brutal from a business perspective because now they want to invest less. It's brutal from a business perspective. Now they want to go to other countries where they have more freedom. And that is one of the things that he brought up where I had a lot of respect listening to him going, man, this guy understands it. This guy understands business. He understands how to get along with people. He understands how to make deals. He understands how to deal with government. He's dealt with them for 30 years, and he's actually made progress and, not overstepped his bounds overall. One of the things I also liked about the guy, bear with me here, is that he's been dealing with the government for over 30 years, and he knows the system. He knows how corrupt the system is. He knows that they can shut him down in an instant. He also knows that you have to get in bed with government in order to make progress nowadays. Now, I want somebody like that who wants to stop the corrupt system. Secretary of State is not exactly that to me. To me, the Secretary of State is someone who is dealing with other countries and other people. They're dealing with other people in other countries talking about, hey, what kind of trade deals can we make with you? Hey, what can we do to stop a war? Because that happens to be what our Secretary of States happen to do nowadays. War, 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 war. John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and don't get me wrong, Bush was just as bad. So I want somebody that is going to be diplomatic. And again, because he doesn't have this government background of, hey, if they don't have the right answer for me, I'm going to go kill them. Because he has a private sector background, it is more, in my opinion, of a troubleshooting person. How can we fix this? How can we work around this? How can we work with you to actually make a deal that works with both people? Instead of someone who's grown up in government and spent their whole life there and said, hey, you know what? You didn't say what I wanted you to say, so I'm going to go remove you. I'm going to go wipe your country out. Goodbye. We're going to turn you into Libya. We're going to turn you into Syria. Yeah, wipe you out. Nation building. Woohoo! America. Yeah, your country needs some freedom. We're going to go smoke a bunch of you. And that happens to be what our country's turned out to be. Just a bunch of cowboys, whether it's Obama or Bush, warmongering around the country. And so these are things that make me more optimistic about him, make me believe that, hey, he has potential to not be this way. And if you're like me and you're sick and tired of our men and women dying in needless wars, if you're sick and tired of ISIS expanding like the plague, thanks to us bombing the tar out of them, maybe you want a little less war. Maybe you want someone that actually can communicate. And that is what I like. He also understands economics, which to me is more powerful than war oftentimes. And so you can make more economic deals where you can actually have something that works for both countries instead of always threatening with a gun. Another thing that I find that I really like about the man is that he's been working all around the world, including Russia, and he has really good relations, and he's had to work in all these different countries, working with different rules, different regulations, different styles of government in order to drill there, in order to go for oil, in order to produce green energy, whatever it is, whatever his business is doing. He's been all over the world in all these different countries talking to top people in the country. And that is what makes him a good person, because he's done all this. He's been in Exxon for a long time. He's a CEO there. And in order to do all this and last in his company as long as he has had to have done a great job without burning bridges. So he has good relations with all of these countries. So granted, he doesn't have a relationship from a government perspective, but he has a relationship from a private sector perspective. I've done so many billions of dollars of work in your country that I have a relationship with you on how to work with your government, how to get all the processing through, all the red tape, all those things. And I know how to work with you in order to get things done. To me, that is invaluable. That is a powerful thing. We've had enough Secretary of States who have government experience. I'd like someone that has something new, maybe somebody that can actually work something out. Also, I want to go back real quick and talk about this Russia deal. First of all, I feel like the Democrats in general, and you guys are, and I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, but this is absurd. The arguments all become this. Okay, Donald Trump's racist. Donald Trump's he's anti-gay, anti-Semitic, he's a woman hater, all of these things. Everything revolves around race, women hating, all this stuff, or Russia. I'm sorry, but if you are a successful person and you've been doing business all around the world, you probably have dealt with Russia. Good for you. That doesn't make you a bad guy. In fact, it makes you a good guy in my book, that you can work with so many different countries that our own country can't get along with. But our country seems to try to pick a fight with somebody all the time. Seems to be a common denominator, whether it's Republicans or Democrats. Finally, one of the things I want to give him credit for again was his direct answers to tough questions. I always find it appealing. For me, when I'm looking for truth on people, if I'm YouTubing them, I want videos that people are getting asked tough things and they aren't beating around the bush. They're not being a politician like Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. They are actually giving you a direct answer. Hey, you may not like this answer, but this is the way I see it, or this is the way I feel about things. And if they're always powder puff questions, kind of like they were giving Hillary Clinton oftentimes, you go, okay, well, what's this person stand for? Why can't I get a tough answer? Why can't I get a tough question given to this person? And so Rex Tillerson, one of the videos I was listening to is about I believe an hour and a half video of just questions. It was just an interview. And he answered tough questions all the time, direct answers over and over and over. And it was not some powder puff questions. These were tough things. You do not want to talk about the environment typically when you work in the oil industry, yet he answered those questions directly, dead on. He talked about the permitting process. He talked about the prices. He talked about how it's a commodity and it goes up and down, and how you can make bad deals and good deals, and how it hurts the poor and how it hurts the middle class, how we need to be working towards green energy and what processes it takes to work towards green energy. These are all legitimate things that he talked about without beating around the bush. To me, I have so much respect for a person that gives a direct answer. When I'm looking at a YouTube channel, if it's someone that blocks all the comments, that's not someone I want to listen to. If it's someone that's editing their videotapes so that way you only hear them making the good points and you don't listen to their competition contradicting them or making them look bad, I don't want to listen to that. If we're actually pursuing truth, we want to listen to positivity and negativity. When I'm wrong, when I get in a debate and you guys see that I'm wrong on Facebook or whatever else, you want someone that comes to you and says, hey, I apologize. I was wrong. I learned from my mistake. I learned from you educating me. Thank you for the links. Thank you for educating me. And now I'm going to move on and have different perspectives. That's what we want. We want truth. When I was for the Iraq War, I was all for it. Yeah, we need to go and protect America. They've broken how many UN resolutions? 22 of them. We need to go and show them that we stand for something. Woohoo! What about all those poor people dying? Saddam Hussein's such a bad guy. And now I look back at myself and I say, man, I'm so sorry. I was so wrong. Thankfully, I woke up. But the point is that I am able to make that mistake. I am able to make that admission that I messed up, and I'm able to learn and to grow. And we cannot do that if we're listening to channels that are constantly editing things. TYT, the Young Turks. They won't say Milo Yiannopoulos. In my opinion, if you're afraid to say somebody's name, if you're afraid to say Donald Trump, if you're afraid to say Hillary Clinton, it's because you're worried that they have points that are going to take your viewers from you. And I say that sincerely. I don't care who you listen to. In fact, I want you to point out people that prove me wrong. Because if I'm learning things, if we're actually promoting truth, we should be open-minded. We should be constantly looking for truth. And that's the goal for all of us. That's the goal of my channel, is to be promoting truth, whether it's good or bad. I have attacked Donald Trump. I like this pick overall. He's not my favorite. He's not Ron Paul. That's who I would love to have that job. Could you imagine Ron Paul, Secretary of State, understands economics, is completely anti-war, only is going to war unless it defends our country no matter what, be pulling our troops back from all around the world? It'd be awesome. That's my perfect pick. No, I didn't get that. But it sure beats Rudy Giuliani. It sure beats Mitt Romney. So anyway, let's just keep working. Thank you so much, Donald Trump, for not picking a warmonger as far as we can tell. Let's see how the process goes through, whether he gets nominated or not. I'm guessing it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But they're going to go in and vet him. They're going to go and explore any avenue they can possibly find of his. And we'll see how it turns out. But this is a video just trying to give you a pro and con perspective of a good guy that seems like a pretty civil person. Look him up. If you have different perspectives, let me know. Tell me why. Give me facts. Let's not worry about, let's not go off of feelings and emotion. Let's go off of facts and reality. If you guys want more videos like this, please hit subscribe. Then hit the notify button because YouTube has changed their system and now you will not get my videos unless you're looking up the exact titles. So you have to hit the notify button and you have to hit subscribe. If you do not like this video, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why. Let's promote truth. Let's promote dialogue. Let's promote debate, healthy debate. If you guys love this video, give me a thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you so much for the views. Thank you. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon. Peace out.